can't wait to see this. I have no idea what's going to show up, do I? I have some nerves, yeah, a little bit more than a 4-footer on the first hole, which can be the tone setter for a round. But yeah, let me start. Well, I'm pretty sure that's a picture from college that was what we used for the Fred Haskins Award. Is that close? That's not college, that's a high school graduation picture, but kind of the bowl cut, kind of like, I don't know, 40 something years ago. That was definitely a polyester shirt from the US Japan All-Star team, the one time I went to Japan to play, and I kept those shirts forever because I thought it was so cool. Ha! That's Walker Cup. That's a cashmere sweater that the US Walker Cup team wore at Royal Liverpool. That was at Hoy Lake in the spring, May of '83. I love seeing that bullseye putter, which had the flange in it, the yellow glove to match, and the same hair from what you just showed me a little while ago, because I was 21 years old, just a couple weeks away from turning professional. That's great memories, because the US did win that match. I'd like to say convincingly. Well, interesting enough, I think this was an outfit that I wore when I won maybe the Buick Open in 1991. Aureus had partnered with Bob Rotella and a friend of Bob's that had a line of clothing that was supposed to exude an emotion based on the color and the pattern. They were kind of boring shirts, but I wore them for a couple of years, and I'm colorblind, so I didn't always know what I was doing or wearing. And it's just remarkable to me to look at this in the early 90s, and I'm not wearing a hat or a visor. So that's very old school and kind of a good memory of winning a PGA Tour event. That's awesome.
Tell me about this vest.
I think one of the photographs that I've enjoyed the most in my career when I was, really starting to get in the game of golf. Jack Nicklaus won the 1975 British Open, the Open Championship at St. Andrews, and he had on a really cool argyle sweater. I was instantly into argyle sweaters. This is kind of a button-down sweater vest, which you don't see anymore. I believe that's still the Aureus brand, and I don't know, I think I was pretty cool having the nerve to wear something like that.
All right, I imagine this is a really good memory.
I was lucky enough to make 2 Ryder Cup teams, one in '95 at Oak Hill, and then one in '97 at Valderrama, and this is certainly what looks to me like Valderrama. Old school hat there, but Freddie and I played together in both of those matches. We won both of the matches, and this one at Valderrama, we were playing against Nick Faldo and Lee Westwood. We came down to the last hole, and I think Faldo was #1 in the world or close to it. Westwood was probably #2 on the European Tour at the time. The 18th hole of Valderrama was a difficult hole, tough to fit your driver into the fairway, and I hit a second shot into a bunker. Faldo hit his second shot to 6 feet. I got my bunker shot inside of his mark barely. If he made this birdie putt, they would win the hole to tie the match. If he missed it, I would have to make that same putt to tie the hole to win the match. So there was all kinds of pressure. I had been criticized earlier that week and that month by Colin Montgomery, saying I wasn't good enough player to play there. I was going through a divorce. There were a lot of things going on inside my brain at that time. Freddie had driven it out of play and wasn't in play, and Faldo had Fanny Sunison caddying for him, and she was always standing behind him, telling him where the putter face was aimed while he was getting ready to putt, and I was close enough to hear what she was saying, and 2 times Faldo stepped away because he didn't have it aimed right, according to Fanny. He missed that 6-footer by a mile, and I got up there and nailed it right in the middle of the hole to tie the match. Tie the hole to win the match and to get us a point on day 1 in the 4-ball, and being able to play with Freddie, that was one of the most exciting moments of my golfing life.
What's going on here?
Look at those pants. I can 100% tell you what's going on right here. Jeff and I, we had dinner last night with our wives. We're playing in the Liberty Legends Mutual Senior Tour, Champions Tour best ball format. This is in Savannah. We came to the last hole with a one-shot lead, and one of the coolest things that happened was Jeff Sluman was friendly with Bill Murray, the actor, and our daughter Charlotte was with us, who had never seen Bill Murray movies, but we had no idea we were going to see Bill that week, but we watched some of the Ghostbusters movies with Charlotte for the first time, and all of a sudden we get to the 18th hole, and here comes Bill Murray. And my daughter Charlotte and Bill Murray got to walk down the fairway on 18 together, and I had about a 15-footer that we really just needed to two-putt. And I hit a beautiful putt with a little bit too much pace, and it hit the back of the hole, like one of those practice exercises we try to do, and spun out of the hole, and I kind of fell to the ground like, how did this not go in? And Slew had already made a bogey, so if my putt had missed the hole, this thing probably would have been 4 or 5 foot comebacker. I was acting like this was the worst break in the world, but it was a little bit more acting than it was anything else. So that's a great memory. Jeff and I have been very close friends for a long time, and to be able to partner with him and win this tournament and have that happen with my daughter and Bill Murray, excellent, excellent.
Some context, this is 2025 Players Championship.
When I worked for NBC, and particularly our bigger events that we do, the US Open, the Open Championship, the Players, and any of the signature events that NBC does, we're always in coat and tie. I love this coat because it has brown with a little orange tints to it. I like that shoe from Santoni. I buy all this stuff from the same guy in Alexandria, Louisiana at Weiss and Goldring, but he puts the stuff together. I couldn't match much of this stuff because I'm colorblind, but I know Rory likes nice stuff, and he has some really nice clothes, and he commented on these shoes, that suede lace up, kind of like a boot, just over the ankle. And I appreciate that people like that stuff. Some people notice, some people just wear blue blazers wherever they go. What's cool about this picture is you see Rory helping adjust my pocket square to make sure that the frilly stuff is lined up nice, and you can see his caddy there, Harry Diamond, to my right, watching Rory here, because Rory, he's a dapper dresser too. He likes to look pretty good, and he's just making sure that I'm not going to embarrass myself for sure.